speculative investments being made. And this morning there were some employment statistics that surprised people, and because that statistic didn't satisfy everybody, you know, there were some sudden changes of attitude about who purchases gold today, and they have the answer, well, it's all China's fault, and back and forth. But it isn't quite that simple. They have, when they don't understand Austrian economics, they have to look at numbers and figures and dates and timing and what the Fed's going to do tomorrow. But you know, in Austrian economics, there's another factor. It's called subjective information, subjective theory of value, and people in markets can do just anything they want to do on the short run. But on the long run, I narrow it down when I wonder, why are they doing that? Why are they reacting this way? And it only comes to my understanding that it's because markets work that way, and there are emotional reactions. What happens one day is usually corrected, because on August 15, 1971, to me a light bulb went on, and this is bad news. There's going to be inflation, the dollar's going down in value, and gold is going to go up, and prices are going to go up, and that's what happened. Even though there's been a lot of ups and downs on it, there was this problem. Right now, we're in a predicament for many people who are trying to do something about preserving their wealth and protecting themselves, and that is not easy. But the one thing over all these years and all my effort to understand this, history shows that the one thing that you can long-term predict certain things about gold. If you take a sound currency and make it unsound and just create new units and print more money, the value of that currency will go down, and the price in terms of that unit will go up. And that is exactly what's happened. I mean, even though there'll be ups and downs, when people say, well, maybe it's over, maybe we have to quit, and it's not a good haven, people will point out why gold really doesn't work. But it is the length of time that it takes for this to work out. So people say, what do you mean? How long you have to wait? You know, you can't wait forever. But historically, you can look at it and be fascinated with it, because when people warned in 1913 about the danger even of a Federal Reserve, and it said something like August 11th would come, that the crisis would come, and that's what would happen. And lo and behold, the ratio between gold and the dollar, when the Fed took over, was $20 per ounce, and then it went to 200, and now it's 2,000. And my prediction is the sway will mile, and you'll see it. Maybe it's going to do double and triple again. That would be very bad news. But after looking at all these and all the statistics, there's two things that I think are the most important, and that one is debt. As long as our government has the privilege, and they still have a lot of privilege in the world, people still want our dollars, even though less so than in recent years. It's still alive and well, and they print. And if you have the debt, we're still in a position where we can still print the money, and they'll still take the dollars. We exist with it. No matter what we do today in this country, we usually might deal in property of some other value, but we always go down and wonder what the dollar is. So they still do that. And so I think looking at debt of the government is important. One thing that I came away from Washington on is there's no chance, even with some new members of Congress in the near future, which is like 30 years in this generation, you're not going to see an intellectual, smart attitude about what we should do in Washington, and people voluntarily say, I can't use the money, I don't think so, what I want to do is I want sound money. That's not going to happen. So the debt's going to continue, which means that it does have an effect. All this attitude. The other thing is very important on anticipating what's going to happen with our finances and what we have to do to preserve our wealth, and that that's the interest rates. Interest rates are key. It's the price. It's the price that identifies the real value of that currency that is being used. And that something that is really hard to predict, and there will be a lot of subjectivity in it, but there'll be the Fed policy and what the Fed says and the spending going in. So there's a lot of things. There still will be areas, of the economy that will have a market effect on the interest rates. So it is, and but the interest rates is a very, very significant in economics. I consider it the most important price that it is compared to everything else, and that's not going to change because they'd have to change the monetary system. That is the reason. A simple prediction of mine is things aren't going to get better until we wise up about spending and monetary policy. This is the reason that we are partners with Birch Gold Company. Birch Gold is a gold company. On the screen in Zimbabwe, mentioned on the screen, text ROD at 98989. Why are we in 120 countries? And it's crazy. We can't even pay the interest to get. We don't have enough money to pay the interest on the debt we ran up with the Department of Defense, the defense money. So this is a big problem. But it also means this is going to get worse. No matter what the blips are, day to day or week to week or even year to year, this is locked in place unless we do some fundamental changes. They have to be fundamental, new principles, understanding economics more from the Austrian viewpoint than the Keynesian viewpoint, and we also have to work in there for a lot of reasons our foreign policy. But today we want to talk, Chris, and I know you've looked into this a little bit about what's going on with Russia. Why are they getting nervous? They're talking about sending war vessels, war ships down into Caribbean, into Cuba, and immediate. That made me bring back memories because in October of 1962, I got a little notice about being drafted. I eventually was drafted.